Annette, go to math.
Hi there.
How you like,
Guidance.
huh?
Guidance.
Do they send you with a note?
No.
They never give you notes.
Alright.
Yeah, they do. They give people notes all the time.
They never give me.
Last time I was in there, I was in there for like 40 minutes into the period, and then she said go to class, and I was like, can I get a note? She said, no, you'll be fine.
You did say that. So I think I should not be late.
I can go back to work.
Come on. You may have time for these guys.
What is that, what?
So that they-
You've already done it?
I didn't know it until I get it.
Okay.
What are you doing?
You did the whole thing? It's 2.5 days.
Raul, please report back to Ms. Harvey's office. Raul, please report back to Ms. Harvey's office. Thank you.
If you've done 2.5 days, plus I'm still in the call. Did you try to come to the private time the rest of the time then? Then I can't promise you 100% time.
You know what, yeah. I can promise you that. I got you.
Okay.
No.
Now, Derek? Have I seen Derek today?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, just a little bit, just a teeny bit. I guess I wasn't with that.
Are you serious?
You were kind of late in the day also.
That's a problem.
Don't forget this one. Oh, this is.
Correct. Correct. So no Derek, that we know of. It'll probably be a long short.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna, he can eventually.
Why is it like a lighter on?
Anybody heard from Trevor?
Richard has no friends outside of school.
He has no friends outside of school?
Yeah, nobody comes.
Oh, okay.
That looks like this.
And we never saw
Trevor.
him again.
I was like, anybody ever talk to him? But Nigel said nobody talked about us.
I got lost in the.
Ball thing. I see my phone.
I think it's slide. Alright, hold up.
There you go.
One.
So what's your favorite place to go eat?
I was ready to have that.
I don't really have a favorite.
I ain't seen it.
I lots of places I like, but I don't have an absolute favorite.
And it's on my rate. And then I only my number.
How do you know?
You just got the phone?
No, I didn't have your phone.
Are you sure you don't have it? Well, you can your number. Oh, yeah.
You're on 12, okay? I'll get very good,
Now the
You will
whole
pass. but you need to make it time. Love is telling you.
You. I know you have it. was like, listening. He's just like, no, it didn't. Like, it's hard.
You're on. Not.
Can someone touch that?
You tell me that a long time ago.
Go grab my book off the back.
Markel.
I literally have it right here. Look at it. Like 5 seconds.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna
Sparse.
That's also.
So you're only on 9. So if you're planning to be out again, you should be good.
What's so bad?
When did we learn this?
Last 2 days.
Oh, I can see.
I'll catch on.
Nigel, you're just trying to annoy me.
I mean, I'm trying to throw something on Markel to get his attention.
I'm gonna get some water, okay?
Throw a brick. You could just get up.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I mean, he shouldn't have his headphones.
Always says
You're trying to make me seem like a bad guy here. It's him. Not me.
If y'all want, let's just stick on recycle. And again, if y'all don't want these, put them in recycling. Yeah, you can put it in recycling.
You can put this inside.
Can we put their little
Oh.
Let's go.
You just involved corrections. But you intermingle the letters. You're supposed to use only A, B, C, D, E, F, only the N, A, L, C, L, P, R stuff.
I asked you, and you said no.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I was like, doesn't matter when we use it here. You like, no.
9 times I your question. But those were given and written on the board for directions.
Wait, how's this?
Where?
I didn't draw everything.
No, it's the same.
Huh?
You didn't switch anything. A and B are together here and A and B are together over here. You gotta switch something in the content. You didn't switch anything.
Oh my god. No, it's not.
Me too. You excited around here?
As well.
Oh. They're putting recycling then.
I got it on.
What? Huh? What?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah. While I'm thinking about it, remember when's the last day for this old makeup work? When's the last day for old makeup work?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Wait, really?
Hold on, really?
Yes.
Hold on, it's
Keep
tomorrow.
it. What? I'm saying, hold on now.
Hold on, what? If you look at this, it's CB, it's AD. You should have AD together over here. You got flip. So CB has to switch from something to AD, so like CA plus BD. You didn't flip anybody. You put AD still together over here. You didn't flip anybody. Look at this example. One right here, look. Yeah, you got ACL and ABR. You got BR with AL. Look at it. Down there. You didn't do no payments.
You gotta go to the news, right? We asked her, right? We asked her, right? She was like, yo, you can do that.
You didn't flip anybody.
You flip the place.
I flipped the
It's
place.
in my head.
Oh, you said.
Huh? No, please. No.
Can I do it?
No.
Can I get some water?
You get some water. That thing better not come back in my room and you better put it in the trash can.
One thing.
No, that's when solar airplanes.
I'm thinking of a drive.
That's a good game. Oh, yeah.
I only guess 18 to.
My grandma.
You don't want it for recycling. You're not gonna lay it on my counter.
I remember that all the way back then.
You sound like some demented circus animal. Oh, every time I walk close to you. How would know an elephant seal I saw one?
Elephant seal or seal?
Elephant seal.
Like, from
That's a real animal.
a seal?
An elephant seal.
Alright, that takes care of all your pets.
An elephant seal. It's a seal.
Like you're sealing.
Elephant seal.
Like otters?
I think you drop all your stuff. Elephant seal.
They're like otters.
No, it's like a real, it's like a seal, like a sea lion.
I don't even know how to.
Okay,
so like, you
like
gotta
I thought you were saying seal like a zip like that. Wait, what?
Why not say like seal like that? I would have said zip line.
As soon as you said elephant, seal on my
Oh my god.
No, I'm gonna be all up and down.
You must go pick it up so
How did you even know about that?
You told me you were.
Yes.
Wait. Oh, we gotta go.
What if I'm missing right now?
Nah.
What if I miss
This will be a chill day.
What's up? This one?
I'm gonna say, I'm sure there's something.
Yeah, that's why we this morning.
Okay. So, what's the difference?
All
Alright guys, today we're I don't know what's going on for the game plan today, but we're gonna do something. So yeah. So what's up everybody?
That one has C, so this one, that one didn't lose. Alright,
Right. Yeah, as you can see, everybody's happy.
these appear to all.
Everybody loves everybody here. And yeah.
That's why that lost too, this one didn't.
Fuck
That
this
was
clip.
Are you okay with that one?
Oh, intro.
These are the same. 2 points there for endo, 2 points there for no. That's the 2 point difference on these two. Because that was physical, should be chemical. Here, we do not write one word answers. I never write one word answers there. Endo and no are there. That's why you lost 2 points there. Here, this is the same as whoever's paper here had physical, flammable was chemical, so that should have said chemical. That had no unit, which was -1. All of those were the same.
Yeah.
Okay? Are we done?
Why don't you play this, bro? You play.
How old?
He just didn't put down the same thing y'all got.
Even your mouth is full. I mean, don't talk when your mouth is full.
Don't have any
I
I
know it was yesterday, but I forgot to tell you. Happy birthday. It was yesterday. He didn't say anything. Pull up your birthday.
It's your birthday? I'm not.
No, it was like an hour. Oh, that's Saturday. Okay, well, you can say it was on
I forgot. Somebody else's birthday is coming up.
Mine.
Nigerians was like,
Yeah.
Somebody
else's.
I will still accept gifts.
My boy!
That's all it's going to now.
You got some food?
Montanel's already passed you. Okay, yeah.
No.
That's what we're saying.
She begged too.
Mine, I don't care.
She should just kill us all. Exactly.
Alright, so if we look at the types, I have no idea. I'd have to go to the computer and look. When is it? When is yours?
6th of January.
Oh. How many plus signs on number 1?
2.
One.
Let's do top.
Alright, I've heard 1, 2, and 3. We're in trouble. Alright, so I circled the plus signs. Oh, Derek's here now.
You've been here for like
How many plus signs do you see now that I circled it?
2. 1.
Are we okay with 1 now?
Yeah.
So it has to be synthesis or decomposition, right? Are we splitting apart or are we forming something? So if we're, I heard splitting and I heard one person say forming.
That's
Don't worry about that one
splitting. Decomposition.
It's splitting, it's decomposition. All right, and number 2, 1 plus sign or 2 plus signs?
1.
So we're either forming or we're splitting.
Forming.
We're forming it, synthesis. All right, number 3, 2 plus signs or 1 plus sign? You be quiet over there. Single displacement, double displacement, or combustion. So how do we rule out combustion?
It's not.
It doesn't have CO2 or water, okay? So we don't have CO2 plus water. To be single displacement, we have to have an element plus a what? Do we have an element plus a compound?
No.
No, there's no elements there. Everything has 2 capitals, so that tells us it's double. All right? For number 4, how many plus signs are there?
2.
There's 2, so it has to be single, double, or combustion again. Is there CO2 plus water?
No.
So, do we have an element plus a compound or 2 compounds again? We have what? Element plus a compound, so that tells us it's single displacement. And the last one would be what? It's combustion. You got CO2 plus water. Everybody okay with that? Good. All right, so yesterday I gave you a worksheet, and we didn't have time to go over it at the end of class, but most of you had done 1 through 15. Can you find that so we can talk about the answers and see how we did? Do it anyways. Guess I can't find it. Let me see if I can find it. I think I have it in Word. What would that be? Oh, I can't open it in Word on this one anyways. It won't matter. Well, it's just to Ladybug.
How is he still eating the We're like barely eating.
That's what I got 2 of us.
I love it. God, you have the extra sheet?
Why, did you lose yours?
Yes.
Oh.
How long it says?
I'm probably find one.
Hey, someone did it. And you smell the face on the board.
That's why I was gonna eat that, you know.
I like that. That's got
Someone did a little bit of like that.
Here. All right, so if we look at number 1, what type is number 1?
Separated.
Why, you don't know what to do with it? No, I need that to happen stuff.
It's a decomposition.
All right, number 1 has how many plus signs? Go sit down. You don't know what to do with it anyway.
I know. The warm-up.
Go sit down. I'll get you a paper in a minute. All right, number 1 has how many plus signs? 1. Is it splitting or forming? Splitting, so it's what type? Decomposition. Number 2, how many plus signs? 2. So what kind is it? Double displacement. It's double. You got 2 capitals and everything. All right, number 3, how many plus signs? 2. What kind is it? I hear single and I hear double. How many capitals in MG? 1. So that's an element. So is it single or double? It's single. All right, number 4, how many plus signs? 2. So what kind is it? Single is correct. Number 5. How many plus signs? 2. So what kind is it? Double displacement. They're all compounds. Number 6. You see all those parentheses? That should slap you upside the head and tell you what kind that one is. It should. All right. How many plus signs do you have? 2. So they're all compounds. All those parentheses tell you there's more than one capital, so they're all compounds. So it has to be double. Has to be double displacement with those parentheses. All right, that's what those parentheses mean, is it's all compounds. All right, so that brings us up to 7. All right, how many plus signs? 1. Are we forming or breaking apart? So that means synthesis. All right, number 8, how many plus signs? 2. So 2 plus signs means single displacement. We have a single element there. All right, number 9, how many plus signs?
Wait, what was 8?
What was what?
Single D.
Single displacement. All right, number 9, how many plus signs? 2. So what kind do you think it is? It is single. All right, number 10. All right, number 10 is decomposition. Are we okay with that or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, what's 10? Oh, never mind.
I'm thinking you two need to sit farther apart. You two. What 2 do you think I'm referring to?
He threw her pencil at her in the hallway to win her.
Who threw her pencil at her?
She
Why?
asked for a pencil. She asked for a
Yeah, I
pencil.
asked for this one.
See, I didn't do it.
Moral of the story.
I was sitting here quietly reviewing.
I'm sure Malik can't throw, but why don't you just get up and walk somebody the pencil the next
That's
time?
too much work.
And really?
It would interrupt class.
No, it wouldn't have. I'd rather you walk a pencil to
You're a
somebody and
physical
throw it.
science teacher. You know how much work is that?
Not a lot. Throw a pencil. It's not a lot.
You gotta do like the time.
We don't throw pencils or scissors. They're both sharp objects.
Pencil.
What kind of simple machine are they?
His arm is a
No,
lever.
I was talking about the pencil.
Pencil?
That's up.
The wedge.
I was referring to the sharp object points or a wedge, but it could also be a lever.
How did
It's
you
a wheel.
It's a wheel and axle. It's a pulley because you press the thing down and it spins in there and that's what makes the leg come out the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna.
wasn't worried about the wheel and axle. I was worried about the sharp point that y'all are hurling at each other.
What's the one? What's the one that a doorknob is?
It's a wheel and axle.
That's the one where it has the rod in it.
Don't throw sharp objects across the room.
It wasn't out. The lead was inside of it.
There's still a piece that's pointed on the end of a pencil.
It ain't gonna be that much damage. You both got glasses on.
Marius! It's not funny. I don't want to.
You got
Surrounded by
single.
All right, moving on. Number 10 you said was what? Are we all okay with that one?
DEC.
All right, number 11. What? How many pluses? 2. All right, so what kind is it?
Single?
It's single. All right, FE has how many capitals?
I mean, one.
Only 1, so that's why it's single. All right, number 12. That's double displacement. There's 2 pluses and you have parentheses and everything else has 2 capitals. All right, number 13. How many pluses? 1. So 1 plus makes it synthesis or decomposition, and that one forms, which is why it is synthesis. All right, last two, 14 and 15. What's 14? Synthesis. And what's 15?
Boom. Boom.
Wait, is it combustion?
It's combustion. You have CO2 plus water. Yes. Over there. No, it's in the back. You gotta go see Jalen in the back. He's washing my glassware. All right, everybody got it?
Yes.
All right, now we're going to switch to balancing. All right, now, you will see balancing on the test. I have no idea how much balancing you will see, but you will see balancing. Okay? So that's where we're going to spend the majority of the class period today. Some of you will get it. Some of you will not. Okay? We're going to try probably for the better part of the class period today to get it. All right? When we come back tomorrow, if you don't have it, you just don't have it. All right? And I know that sounds kind of crappy of me to say that, but that's just where we are. Okay? I will teach you shortcuts on how to get it out of multiple choice questions on the review. Okay?
It's gonna be on the test.
It will be on the exam. My best guess is 1 to 2 questions on it will be on the exam. Okay, based on the release test that they've sent out, 1 to 2 questions. Now,
It was 40.
it's 45 questions. 45. All right. So what is balancing based on? Balancing is based on the law of conservation. And we've talked about the law of conservation several times this semester.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, what is the law of conservation of mass? Does anybody remember?
Mass will not be like
Okay.
it doesn't
It can't be
move
created
or
or
change. It
destroyed.
just gets transferred.
There you go. That's 2 people who told me the right answer. Get it out of the trash can. No. You threw my eraser in the trash can. I get it out.
Trying to like find my info. Hold on.
Go. Okay.
Like a video game.
Yeah, it's a lost cause. Know why you knew it.
Unnecessary item.
It's a lost cause.
It's a lost cause. It's not in there.
It is in
I
there.
see it.
Oh, I wasn't digging that deep.
Now, the law of conservation of mass says that mass is not created or destroyed. It is transferred in ordinary chemical reactions. Now, this is the only rule that we have to obey in order to balance a chemical equation. All right? It's the only one. Otherwise, we just have to be able to add and multiply. Okay? We have to be able to add and multiply to balance the equation. We are only going to work with the easiest of the reactions that we do in chemistry class to teach balancing in here. I don't know how in depth the equations will be on the exam. Okay? They could be fairly difficult. They could be pretty easy. Based on what I've seen in the release tests, they're not that complex. All right? If you understand how the equations are set up, you should be able to eliminate and find the right answer.
Are you going to show us the release?
Yes, I'm going to show you 2 of them. Okay, one we're going to do as a practice test on Tuesday, and I'm going to grade it. Okay, I'm going to give you a bubble sheet, and we're actually going to score it.
So like, will it be graded in our?
That's the part I haven't decided yet.
I think you should.
I can come pretty close to scoring it and giving you a pretty good estimate as to what you'd get if it was exam day.
How many questions on the exam?
45. 5 will be field test items that will not count against you. But you will have no idea which ones are the field test items. They will blend seamlessly. You will not be able to tell which of them are which. Because every year they need to have new test items because they don't give the same test year after year after year. So some items will rotate out of the test and new items will rotate into the test. So they're always testing new questions. I don't even know that the fall test is the same test that they're giving in June. Okay. So they're always testing new test items. Okay. So that's why they're field test items. So 40 of the questions will count against you and 5 will not. So when I get your score back, it will have a converted scale score, but it will say, like, let's say there are 40 questions. It'll say like 39 out of 40. So I know you got 39 right out of 40. Very few people get 39 right. But I do occasionally have somebody who gets 39 right. Typically it's 37, 38 is the highest I get. And I expect that I will get, I've never had a 40. I've had 39. I expect this semester to probably get some 37s, 38s. Probably in both classes. Last semester, I think 37 or 38 was the highest. I'd have to look back. Logan Smith got the highest last semester. Yep, William Taylor and somebody else are right behind him. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question about the test. Is it gonna be on a computer or?
Yeah, it'll be on the computer. It'll be on the computer. Huh? You having all passes left? Are you staying for lunch today? Okay.
How long do you stay if you do lunch detention?
What?
How long do you stay? If you
10 minutes. Lunch detention's not that long. It's only 10 minutes. I don't keep you for the rest of your life. You got exactly.
I like to sit in here with you, but you kick me out.
Correct. I don't want to eat lunch with y'all. That's why I only keep you for 10 minutes.
That's why. What if I just want to hang out with you as well?
No.
So I can't just hang out over here and watch TV?
No.
Well,
Well, you I don't mind so bad because I know you have your earbuds in. You're not listening to anything we say anyways. All right. So what? No, we do not do time during lunch.
yeah.
Now you have very limited time left to make up time with me because you have Wednesday. And then 3 days next week, and that's it. That's all I got left. You need to think about Saturday school, my man.
Can't do that.
You are going to probably wind, and this is the thing I would tell you, don't not show up for the exam or anything, because they'll give you a U, and then they'll offer you a chance to make up time in the summer. Right. But you will pass, but they'll give you a U, which will say you need to make up time. And you can make up time over the summer or next fall. And then once you make up the time, they'll give you the credit. Because that's all you'll be lacking is the time. You see what I'm saying?
I feel like that's
Because I'm pretty sure based on what you had in the fall, or the Q3, and what you've already earned in Q4, I mean, unless you just bomb the exam, you will pass. You're just over in days by about 4.
It's all good.
So, all right. So, if we have 2 atoms of sulfur on the reactant side, that means we have to get 2 atoms of sulfur on the product side. So the question is, how are we going to do that? All right, that's what we're going to learn today. If there are 2 atoms on the reactant side, how do we get 2 atoms on the product side? And it's really not that hard. But some people get it really, really twisted in their head as to how to do this, okay? So, in this equation that I have here, we need to talk about 2 kinds of numbers, all right? We're going to use the words coefficients and subscripts. Both of those are numbers that y'all are familiar with, okay? So, this right here is called a subscript. Okay. It tells the number of atoms. Okay. That subscript tells the number of atoms. So what does it mean then if there isn't a subscript? Like on this Fe up here at the front when there's no subscript. What is it if there isn't one? Mario. I need you not to distract Urelli. You probably remember how to do this. She's learning for the first time. Not until Grace comes back.
I'll make a time.
That'll be fine. All right, so what does the FE have on it if there's no subscript written on it? What do we know it to be? What? A 1. Okay? So if there's nothing on the FE, that means the FE has a 1 if nothing's there. We don't say it's a 0, it means it's a 1. Does that make sense? Just like in math class. Everybody with me on that?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Now, the next number we need to talk about is called a coefficient. And coefficients will go right there. Okay? Coefficients tell the number of each compound. Okay? Now, I'm going to draw lines in front of the compounds today to emphasize where we can put a coefficient. The state is not going to draw lines like that for y'all. Okay? I don't draw lines like that for my chemistry class. I do it for the first day to emphasize where we can put coefficients like I'm doing it for y'all, but I don't draw it beyond day 1, really about 30 minutes worth, and then I'm done. Because you need to get used to where you can and cannot put numbers. They can only go in front of the compound. Now, which number can we add or change? The subscript or the coefficient?
No, the subscript.
He said it right the first time.
Correct.
Really?
Okay, we add or change the coefficient. Okay? That's really all you need to know to balance, other than reviewing the skill you already have from math class. Okay? Everything else is trial and error.
Can you explain what we need for math class? 'Cause
Yep.
I failed math.
No, for real.
And what do the lines mean?
That's where the coefficients are going to go. All right, so to review for nitrogen. All right, so I said things were going to multiply. So if we have, what we're going to have is Fe2O3, right? And I said we were going to put a line out front. So if we have in math class 2 times x plus 3, what did that 2 do to x plus 3? So what are the words we use in math class? What do parentheses mean? Distribute and multiply. So we would get what and what? What would we get if we distribute and multiply? 2x plus 6, right? We do the exact same thing in science class. So if we need to make, let's say, 6 oxygens, okay? We need 6 O's. We would have to put a 2 out here. We cannot write something in the middle of the compound. We have to put it out here where Ms. Wall drew that line, okay? Now, when we put the 2 out front, it's the same thing as having parentheses. It multiplies and distributes, okay? So this 2 goes there and there. So how many FEs do we have?
4.
That's right. We have 4 FEs
And 6.
And how many oxygens? 6 oxygens. Okay, that's what I mean by it multiplies and distributes. Are you with me on that? If you can do that, we have a shot at balancing. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So, we're going to try to balance this one. It's trial and error. Pick one element at a time to balance. Either balance the Fe or balance the oxygen. Don't try to do them both at the same time. Some people like to balance the smaller numbers first. Some like to balance the bigger numbers first. I tend to balance the bigger numbers first. You choose. Do you want to balance Fe first, or do you want to balance oxygen first? Okay, we'll do oxygen first. So how many oxygens are here? How many oxygens are here? Can I multiply by any number and get 3 oxygens over here? Will 2 times something equal 3? No. So, can I multiply 3 times something and get 2?
No.
So, you need to think of a number that 2 and 3 have in common. Okay, I need a bigger number than that. All else fails, multiply them together. 6, okay? So can I get 6 oxygens right here? Okay, so how will I get 6 oxygens right there? Okay? All right, 3 times 2 will give me 6 O's. So I'd have 6 oxygens. Can we agree on that? Okay, so that means I need 6 oxygens on the other side. So how will I get 6 oxygens on the other side? If there's 3 here, what do I have to put here? Okay, 2 times 3 makes 6 oxygens. So I made 6 O's. That's good, right? We have 6 on both sides. Now, when I did that, what does that 2 do to that Fe? What are those words I used right here? It distributes. It multiplies and it distributes. So not only did I make 6 O's, I made what else? I made 4 Fe's. This 2 goes here and it goes there. Is everybody with me on that? So how many Fe's did I make? How many Fe's did I make? I see people holding up fingers at the back of the room. I mean, how many Fe's right there? What's 2 times 2 in y'all's world?
4.
We made 4 Fe's. So I need how many Fe's here? I got to have 4. So I have how many?
1.
I need 4. What times 1 will give me 4?
4.
So I put 4 there, which gives me 4 Fe's. Do I have the same number on both sides? 4 Fe's, 4 Fe's. 6 O's, 6 O's. Now, when I say do I have the same number on both sides, I'm not saying did I write 4 and 4. That doesn't matter. The coefficients don't have to be the same number. Do we have the same number of Fe's? 4 on this side, 4 on that side. 6 and 6.
Yes.
Then it's balanced.
Does it have to be like the most simplest one?
Huh?
Like whatever you did 2 times.
Yes, you can check that by making sure these can't be reduced.
So like it has to be reduced all the way.
Yeah. All right, let's try an easy one. Now, what should I balance first?
Should wait for me to
MG.
All right, does MG have a subscript on it?
No.
Don't pick something that doesn't have a subscript on it. It's already balanced. Pick something with a subscript on it.
Oh.
Okay, so how many O's are right here?
2.
So I got 2 O's there. I need how many O's here? And you don't have to write this stuff at the bottom. I'm just doing it to emphasize what we have, okay? When I balance, I don't write any of this crap down. I do it all in my head. All right? So I need how many O's here? I got to have 2 on this side, right? Well, if there's only one, these numbers multiply. So I need to put a what? I need to put a 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Now, again, anytime you put a coefficient, what does the coefficient do? It distributes. So that goes there and there. Right, Urelli? Lift your head up. You're sound asleep. Come on, big head up. I'm going to go get Ms. Rector to come over and yell at you.
No, that's loud.
I know.
You're loud with the kids, but.
Go get some water. Stretch your legs.
So what would you write in the ones before?
Okay. So if I do that, I made how many O's? I made 2 O's. And I made how many MGs? Okay. So on the other side, I have to fix my what? My MGs. How many MGs do I have right here? I only have 1, but I need how many, Diavion? I need 2, so how am I going to get 2? I've only got 1, so I'm going to put a what there, Grace? 2 times 1 gives me 2. Okay? Now, I tend to leave that line blank. However, a lot of people in my chemistry class hate when I do that. So what do they like to write? They like to put a 1 right there because they don't like that blank line. You can leave it blank or you can put a 1 there if it bothers you like it does them and you want to put a 1 there.
It bothers me.
Then write a 1. It'll be fine. Okay?
Can you do another one?
Yes, we're going to do several. All right. What about this one? What should we start with? Okay. How many CLs right here?
2.
How many CLs right here? Okay, so 2 and 3. So what should we do if I have 2 and 3? Can I get 3 on that side or 2 on that side? So what do they have in common? What's a number they have in common?
6.
Okay, 6. So how could I get 6 on both sides? How could I get 6 of them here?
3.
How can I get 6 of them here? Okay, so now I have 6 CLs and 6 CLs. So once I've done that, what have we said? That this does to the AL and the CL. What does that 2 do to the AL and the CL? Distributes, it multiplies. So I made 6 chlorines. How many aluminums did I make?
2.
So I made 2 ALs. All right, so what do I need to do here? Put a 2. You with me or no?
Yeah.
Got it. Let's try this one. And like I said, we're just doing easy ones right now. Trying to get the feel for it. It's up to you. All right. So, what should we do?
Wait. What's the 7? Find out what things to have.
All right, which element we balancing first? Okay, how many oxygens are here? How many are here? So we're going to put what here?
Why is it backwards?
Because this is decomposition and that one was synthesis. Just a different style of reaction. Put what? You really do what? Pick your head up and pay attention then. All right, so if this O has 7 and the O has 2, what can we do? Go to 14. So how will I get 14 on this side?
You had to times 2.
Okay, and how will I get 14 here?
You had to times 7.
Okay, so now we made 14 O's on both sides.
Yeah.
So what's the only thing that doesn't balance? Okay, so how many MMs are here?
2, 4.
So how do I get 4 here?
Okay, so
Okay? Would you stop making that squeak? One of y'all over there is making that thing squeak. Stop.
I'm not doing anything.
I don't know if you're just wiggling or what, but don't wiggle.
That is you.
It's one of the two of you. I don't know if it's Jose or Diavion, but one of y'all is making it wiggle. You stop. We're not in the gym.
It's Dion. She was.
Scoot away from the counter.
I don't know who you're talking
You
to.
dropped it.
It's when she moves in the chair.
I mean, it could be the stool for all I know that she's
Yeah,
sitting
it
on.
is.
I don't know, but whatever is squeaking is driving me nuts. All right, number 4 up here. All right. Which one we balancing?
They have both have 3.
Okay,
One, either one.
so pick one of them.
First one.
What's the first one's name?
See, I can't.
Okay, so CL has 3. How many CLs are here? Okay, so that's 1. So if we got 3 and 1, it needs a 3. Okay? So CLs are balanced. You got 1, you got 3. We're good. So stop.
I'm not even doing
It's not a ball.
Kind of is.
Okay, so we balance the chlorines. Next. Okay, not NaBr. Pick either Na or Br. Okay, how many NAs are here? 1 there. How many here?
3.
Okay, so we got 1 here, but we have a what right there? And what do we say happens when we put something out front? It distributes. We have 3 NAs over there, right?
Yeah.
So we have 1 here, so what do we need to put right there? Okay? Now that 3 that Grace told me to put there does what? Distribute. So how many NAs did we make? Which we wanted. And how many BRs? How many BRs?
3.
Okay, how many BRs on the other side?
3.
So that's good. BRs are balanced. So the only thing y'all haven't talked about is which element? Ni. How many NIs are here? How many NIs are here? Everybody go with that one? All right.
No.
Yes,
Sorry to interrupt you. Do you have Eduardo Martinez?
I do.
Could you send him to Ms. Harvey's office, please?
I will.
Thank you. Ask him to bring his stuff with him.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What'd you do?
He sounds good.
Do you put a 1 for regular?
Oh, man.
He was like, probably.
Where you are?
Sad case.
No, she's saying I just is related.
Well, how did
me? That's sad for you. You're like, oh,
All right. So if we look at this, all right, this one's slightly more difficult because I don't know what variety you'll see on the exam. I would think this would be the hardest you'd see on the exam. Okay, this was probably the hardest you would see on the exam. Okay, it's not hard.
That one you might.
You just said it's the hardest.
I think this would be the hardest you would see on the exam. I don't think they get any harder than this. For my chemistry folks, they get harder. For y'all, I don't think that they would get any harder than this. Shocked by that. Now,
I'll take it.
What you mean, Sean?
Mario's already been there, done that.
Tried it one week.
That's because you wouldn't come to school first period.
Do you taught chemistry first period?
Huh?
Had a chemistry class first?
I've had chemistry class first period and second period. I've had it third and fourth. Runs the gamut as to when it gets taught. The one Mario was in was first period. Didn't work out real well for him because he couldn't figure out how to come to school first period. He showed up often at 9, 9:05, 9:10.
The first day I walked in was
The first day he walked in, what?
Starbucks, remember?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a dedicated science student.
I think it's Starbucks.
I heard it's coming.
Yeah.
What's coming?
Starbucks.
but it's not. It wasn't open when you were
No, yeah, I don't know which one. it
Did you
was.
get Starbucks in
the white
what part of
section?
town was it?
People look at me weird.
Right.
Salisbury?
Why?
I don't know. I was walking in this food truck, right? And I just walked in there, and everybody's been there simply Southern. They're like,
their khaki shorts and their boat jeans.
I can't wait till we get this.
You look like you want to fit in.
Yeah, but apparently I didn't to them. They looked at me like a lot of old people, and I was like,
I'm white. I don't like to go to Sweet Frog. I think that yogurt's overpriced.
Oh my God.
I mean, they need to bring their prices down.
Always get the smoke up there.
All right, so we're going to balance this. Here's the thing that makes this one different. All right, so when you look at this, see this thing in parentheses?
Yo.
See this NO3?
Yes.
All right, put the other one in parentheses. The 3 is inside the parentheses, right? Put it in the parentheses. All right? Now, if the 3 is inside, what's on the outside? A 1.
A 1.
Balance it as a whole unit. It doesn't put my tape down. I'm going to need it to cover stuff up in here. Everybody else is supposed to take their stuff down because they're supposed to
When are we
repaint
taking this?
this summer. But
When's this? When's this? What's it called?
exam
ELG. When is it?
It's June.
is June 5th,
What day is it?
Wednesday. Thursday is 4th period exam.
Alright.
Friday's makeup.
All right, I'll be here. Hopefully. Dang, we there. So I'll be here. I'm gonna pass that and then go home.
Yes, here you go.
2020. Oh, I'm ready.
All right, so how many of these do you have over here? Don't worry about what's inside,
We have
okay? Doesn't matter what's inside. You're only looking here. How many do you have? How many do you have here? So do it just like you did before. You have 2 there, 1 here, so you're going to put what here? You're going to put a 2 there. 2 times 1 is 2. You already have 2 there. Okay? How many K's did we make?
we make
How many K's did you make? 2, right? How do you get 2 K's?
1 times 1.
1 times 1 makes how many?
2.
1 times 1 makes 2.
Oh, Matthew.
2. So you have to put a 2.
You got to put a 2 there. How many I's did we make? That's 2 I's. How many I's are here? So we don't have to do anything there. So the only thing we haven't talked about is PB. How many PBs? PB has
They're balanced.
1. How many PBs here?
2.
So you can just put 1s there.
You don't have to put. Do you have to put?
You don't have to put anything there. I don't write anything, but my students want to write something, so I just put 1s. All right. Don't lose the paper we were working on a minute ago, because there's some balancing on it. We're going to do this one because it's easier. What? I don't care what you want. I said, I don't care what you want. I want to be on summer break.
Stop waiting for it. Grant.
Range. Yeah, but it's like.
I don't mind at any time except when I gotta get up out of bed in the morning.
So wait, which one do we?
As little as humanly possible.
I was gonna draw my dog.
It's the same.
Are you gonna balance?
Balance myself.
No, the assignment.
Yeah, I can balance it.
All right, find me some answers.
Yeah.
Go sit down.
It's gonna come back.
What did you just do?
Yeah, it's gonna get clean.
I'm just playing.
All right.
The whole thing.
Do I need to do I got the 4th period?
You prefer water?
Done.
Because there's 2 people in 4th period. If I see their phone, it goes to the screen directly.
This wall.
What?
Texting.
If they broke their paycheck up over the summer, I do not. We are 10-month employees. We only get paid 10 months out of the year. So the only reason we get paid over the summer is we had our check broken up and we had to put in the savings account over the summer. We are not 12-month employees. So people who think teachers get paid for summer break, we don't get paid for summer break. We are only 10-month employees. We are unemployed for 2 months of the year.
This one, we are so sorry.
Hey, what does this do?
We are so sorry.
No, it irritates me when people say, y'all get the summers off and y'all get paid.
You're
We
fired.
don't get paid to get summers off. We are unemployed for the summer. Okay?
Hey, Ms.
Don't
Miller.
get me wrong, we chose this and we knew we were gonna be unemployed for 2 months. We can't go get unemployment, we can work at summer jobs. We can go work at Sweet Rock. Or we can work at Taco Bell. I mean, but people actually believe that teachers get 2 months of paid vacation to sit at home on the couch.
So what about the?
We know.
Be nice.
Yeah, that would be fabulous.
Can you say it's whack?
What about the month lady? You don't get paid?
They don't get paid either. None of us draw a check in the summertime. We are unemployed for those 2 months.
You hear that, YouTube? Really now, you'd be like, this is whack. Say it.
It's just the way it is.
Say
It
it's
is
whack.
on video.
School is canceled.
Say it's just whack.
It's
Yelling.
It is just the way it is. It's always been this way.
You got
Those other people who get paid in the summer take part of their check and put it in a savings account.
Whack.
I just moved some money in my own personal savings account. We never have. But there are people who believe that we actually get paid in the summer to sit at home on the couch. That y'all's tax dollars provide me a check every June and July to go home and sit on the sofa. But we don't.
Man, they got me chopped, man. I'm going to school for it. You know what?
Nothing.
If I don't get my way, somebody kneecap me low.
Rob yours. You messing with it.
Nah, man.
Okay.
No. I gotta survive too. It's hard out there. Talking about some
We need to start getting
No,
paid.
They get paid
How
how
much
much
a
a
year?
year? I ain't no money here. But a year is not 10 months.
Oh, God.
It's only 10 months. Now, some of the guidance counselors are 11 months. So Ms. Curry's 12 months. Some of the people in central office are 12 months. I can't, some of the are 11.
do nothing. All they do is just like sit in their office, come on and say, hey, you can't wear
They
that.
gotta get ready for next school year and they're prepping for next school year. But the teachers are 10.
Let me get
So
some
we don't work. So we work a couple teacher work days after y'all leave, and then we don't come back till the week of teacher work days.
Also, y'all do get paid.
For teacher work days, yeah.
Everybody
I would've
go.
went.
They're part of our, where y'all go to
You know how to
school,
draw a
let's say
dog.
180 days, we have to go like 200 days. So the teacher work days are part of our school calendar. So if we don't work those, we either have to take them without pay, or we have special vacation days that we build up with years of experience, so we can take them off like vacation days. So those last teacher work days, I earned 2 comp days by working registration with y'all. And the other 2, I've worked 28 years, so I have special vacation days that I've earned that I can take off. Like a lot of your parents probably have like PTO, personal or paid time off. I've taken 2 of those like paid time off.
What if like what if you teach summer school?
That comes out of a separate pot, and you're hired to teach summer school. But you have to apply for that
Are
position.
you hired for that?
No, I taught summer school once in my 20s, and that was the most god-awful job I ever had. I'd rather go work at Taco Bell. I'm sure slinging hamburger meat's gotta be more fun than teaching summer school. We'll never do that again.
What if they
I'll get off the board and do what I asked.
Wait, you gotta follow the same rules?
It's my dog.
So,
You gotta follow the same rules?
What?
pretty much.
Okay. I'm about to say, I got to.
Oh.
No, I did not enjoy summer school. But I also had to do it before everything was online. You had to prepare lessons and make tests
We
and
changed my
teach and do labs and all that when I taught summer school science
Wait,
classes.
hold on. Before
Oh,
you do
yeah.
that, hold on, before you do that, watch my-
This is back in the 90s. We didn't have computerized lessons. Oh, yeah, not doing that crap again, like ever.
That's it.
So now I've got you, Grace, and Tyler today.
Can I get my food first?
You're like,
Say a really bad picture.
it's a fish.
What in the world?
Yeah, it's a land fish, because that's my dog, and that's meat.
That's more.
All right, balance the equations. Come on.
You guys see the sun?
No, come on. Let's balance the equations.
No, I'm talking about
What?
big. It's big moon.
He said the
No, I don't know. Big moon.
Yeah, I think I
No, it was outside like a few days ago.
Like when it was bigger.
No.
Now, but you did not add.
It was the moon, bro.
Alright,
Okay, just the move.
to clarify something Markel did that I said, but I didn't write on the board. Can you add or change a subscript?
No, you don't.
No. You can only add coefficients. So don't add in subscripts, okay? Only coefficients. Okay, so. So then you make how many NAs? So. 4, I put them here. Yes. So now go back and try.
Yeah, my dog's name's Kino.
Well, I didn't come back to the video. It's your hair.
Skip 3 and go back to it. 3 is probably one of the harder ones on the page.
And 4.
8 and 3 are probably the hardest on the page. So do the others, and if you get those, then go back and try. How are you? Okay, so how many O's are there? How many O's? 1, so give me 2 O's. Okay, so how you gonna get 2 O's? Okay, so put 2 there. Yeah, I don't have to, you can just make 4 of those. We're making 2 of the other one. You said 2 times 1. Yeah. So put the 2 there, because that would be 2 times the 1 that you have right there, right? That gives you 2 others. So how? This one already has 2. So that's 2, and that's 2, so the others are good, they're balanced, right? Are you with me on that? Okay, so now how many NAs did you make there? You got 2, and you got 2, so 2 times 2 is 4.
I'm really ugly.
So how do you get 4 there?
Remember those days when those lettuce early, so it was like flipping hot dogs? I was like,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
now they
Ah,
can't do that.
fuck.
Okay, try the next one.
Wait, this one?
What?
I'm pretty sure number 8 is impossible.
H2 plus.
Just tell me what numbers you have for all.
2, 2, 2, 1.
Yeah.
2, 2,
Number 8 says hard. I don't know if that's.
2, 2, 2.
You do not have anything behind this. Now, here, here, here. Those are the only places you have numbers. How many O's are here? How many are here? You need 2. The only place you have numbers here. So what are you gonna put there?
2. See, I was thinking.
2 times 1 is 2. How many did you make?
Jumping.
Yeah.
How do you get 4?
I'm pretty sure number 8 is impossible.
Number 8, no, it's not. How about you?
He said yours, so I'm like surprised.
Make me 2 O's.
Y'all should buy me a wig.
There's a 2 here.
I'm a wig.
How many NAs did you make?
I mean, not.
Pink.
So make 4.
Yeah, I'll wear it.
Does that help at all? Okay.
Her hair off.
Alright, so how many NAs? Alright. Now, do we got?
Yep.
You got 2 O's, right? How many O's you got there?
This is the story of me and my dog.
Okay, so the O's are good. How many NAs you got?
I got scared when he said year.
You need how many there?
Which one got you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Jose, do
Wait,
something.
clouds are white, so.
Alright,
Draw me laying on a cloud.
how many
That'd be a
O's you
good
got?
blue. That'd a good
How
blue.
many O's you got?
He's really big.
Yeah.
It'd be 2 if you had a 2 there.
Yeah, I had 2
Put 2 there.
but I changed it.
Mario,
Yeah.
could you stop, please?
Hold
I
on.
don't even know what we're doing right now.
You're supposed to be balancing equations on the
Oh,
worksheet.
this paper?
Who's
I
that?
was like, why is it sitting here?
Colin wants to be laying.
He's
on
either
the
scared or
platform.
laying down. I don't know which one. He just told me to put himself
When I
on.
was at home.
Oh,
Alright, so you have how many NAs?
Over 2.
so beautiful.
4.
Draw your relief falling out of the sky.
That was correct now.
Oh
Now, how many O's do you have here?
She has
With the
long
long
hair,
hair.
remember? Yeah, her long
And-
hair. Yeah, here we go.
4.
There you go.
Sorry.
Go back to number one. Rest it off.
Drop what?
Tyler,
Tyler.
balance.
Oh.
You stop drawing, Mario.
Hold on, one more time.
Okay, balancing equations. I know I have to do something with that too.
Mario.
Yeah, almost done.
Okay, you know what?
That's you really falling. That's my dog. That's a cloud. Her name's Penny. Oh, I'm gonna draw my phone.
Stop.
Hold on. Get it.
You gonna draw basket first?
No. No, I didn't want to offend.
Remember, I give you your final grade. And you're a senior.
Slim. This one. I'm
Just draw like a line. Just draw a line. There you go.
gonna say Mario.
You could go sit down and balance like I told you to. How many O's
Hands
are
on
there?
her.
I did all this.
Right hands.
Give me 2 O's. How you gonna get 2 O's?
Yeah.
And multiply. If there's only one, how you gonna get
There
2?
you go.
Oh fuck.
Watch your language. Yes, put 2 in front.
If like, if we were messing with chemicals in here and a kid got it on their skin and
one.
they started
It's
burning
gonna
their
give you
skin.
1. They have to multiply. So what times?
That's your
She's
own.
about to fall.
We're balancing. No, I don't care what's on.
I don't have
Oh my
eyebrows.
God.
It has 1. I want 2. And what number has to go there?
Oh yeah, your others gonna fall on you.
Yeah, it's gonna crush me.
One right there,
I'm old and
Taco
fragile.
Bell.
You might kill her, to be honest.
Now, how many
That's like drawing
NAs
like
do we make?
Huh? You said what?
Draw a Taco Bell.
Multiply by 2. Make
Taco Bells are purple, right?
I think, yeah.
And you get
Hey, how do you draw? Najee, wait.
Just draw a box house, I guess.
I'm gonna draw a
Put
box.
bell- Put a Taco on the bell.
how many NAs?
After you fall.
1. And you want 4. So in math class, what? 1 times is gonna get you 4. Now put 4 out front.
That's why we're doing.
I need a balance scheme or whatever it's.
Look, dude, you gotta quit drawing. I need the pen and the board.
Wait, here's a Taco Bell, and I'm gonna draw Nigeria. Wait, you gotta save it. Okay, you did save it. All right.
So pants gonna be on
I didn't delete it.
Okay, can you save it? Can it be in your lesson forever? Why not?
And the A2.
Now, when you guys are balancing, how many O's are here? There's 2. Okay? Some of y'all are struggling with being able to figure out how many you have and what to put on the other side. When you see the subscript is written, that means you have how many?
2.
When you're trying to figure out what to put here, okay? What number is on this O? You're not trying to add NA and O at the same time. You're considering just one element at that moment in time. So if you're looking at O, you're only considering oxygen. Oxygen has 2 oxygens. How many oxygens are over here?
1.
There's only 1 because the subscript is a 1. Are you with me on that? Okay. So you need to put a number here that will give you 2 oxygens. The number does what? Add or multiply? Multiply. Some of you guys, when I ask you, are telling me to put a 1. What's 1 times 1?
1.
They're 1. That's not going to give you a 2. All right? So 2 times 1 is how many oxygens? That's going to give you 2 oxygens. That balances your O's. Now, this is the point I wanted to make. Once you put that coefficient there, you have to use it. So when I say how many NAs do you have to count it. A lot of you are going, I got 2, because there's a subscript here. Once you put that 2 there, you have how many? You have 4. 2 times 2 is 4 NAs. Okay? You have to count it. As soon as you write that coefficient, it counts. 4 NAs. So what are we going to put here to get 4 NAs? There's 1, so you have to write 4. That's the first one. Okay? When you go on to number 2, and you have H2 plus O2 goes to H2O. Some of you probably looked at H2 first. How many hydrogens are here?
2.
How many hydrogens are here?
2.
What do you know about the H's? They're the same. Don't pick those to start with. How many O's are here? How many O's are here?
9.
That means you need to balance O's. Okay, so there's 1, there's 2. If you have 2 here and only 1 here, what are you going to have to do here? 2 times 1 makes 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. The oxygens are balanced. But again, you put a coefficient out front. So what does that mean happened to our H's? There's what? There's 4 hydrogens. So how do you get 4 hydrogens way over there?
2.
You got to put a 2 right there. That's 4 hydrogens. Does that help at all now that you've tried a couple?
Not really.
You can put a 1 if it makes you happy, or you can leave it blank. Okay? 3 and 8 are the hardest on the paper. So skip 3 and 8 and try some of the other ones. Okay?
Thank you.
3 and 8 are hard. Go back to those. You stay off the board and stop drawing while people try to balance.
Just all I need.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, can I go back?
I think I got
I need
invited.
a lot of help.
All right, do your O's.
3.
Yeah, you're gonna help me?
Yeah.
Okay? Balance the O's. You got 3 and a 2.
Yeah, 2 right here and 6 right there.
All right. The 2 I'm good with because you made 6.
Oh, my bad.
All right.
And a 3 right there.
Yep.
That doesn't have a subscript.
All right. Now check your aluminums and see if they're balanced. How many aluminums you got on the left?
4.
Okay.
I'm running with the one you.
Yep. Yes. Good. All right. You gotta be honest with what you want to help with.
Oh.
It was number 6.
That's what you
What
wanted.
you been into? Yes.
Bring it back out,
I have nothing there.
It's right there.
Thank you. Question?
Oh.
Questions? What? All right. So you made 6 O's. You got 2 and 6. 6. How many ALs? What we just talked about, maybe that's 2 out. What happens? Gotta count it. How many ALs you got?
It's free credit.
All you got is 6. And then you got it. Good.
I'm trying to get.
All right,
So
you.
if you, I know that's one.
All right.
What do you
What do you
say?
say?
No, it's not.
How many O's you got?
The dealership plate too.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you got to
Right.
Right. So you just wrote a 6, which happens all the time. You don't do it every time they come out. Instead of writing 6, you know, you get 6. So what number do you put there? You get 6. Yes. That's exactly what you want. Because you get 6 for the 3 that you got. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What? Okay. So you made 6 ALs, 9 oxygens. You get 9 oxygens right there.
Smell like galley.
You got 2.
Kind of. Not exactly.
Alright, you got 3 O's and 2 O's. What do 3 and 2 have in common?
Similar.
Give me 6. How are we gonna get 6? 3 times 2 will give you 6. Yeah.
I just asked that. Okay,
Six
so now.
No, I didn't.
Way smaller than
Sure.
Very small.
There's 3. Alright, so now balance the O's. Now, once you put that there,
What?
you gotta count. How many ALs did you make?
6.
maybe 4 ALs on the other side. That's a lot.
But see, what happened?
But see what happened was what?
Like the first time, I had to see.
It's down right now.
That's how it doesn't hurt.
Sure, never had a problem.
You need to stop.
But still, like,
No,
Doesn't mean
Dave.
you're wrong.
it was wrong.
Okay, got a question?
You were proud of me. You just smiled.
You got 10, you got
I'm
10.
trying to get one.
I mean, P's. I mean, P.
Remind me of my answers.
The whole paper?
No. This one.
That was right. 9's right, 10's right, 6 is wrong, 5's right, 4's right, 2 has a mistake. Check your O's. Six is just a mess, go back to it. Look at the 2 first. Everything except your N at the front.
This is supposed to be a 2.
Yep. Do
So
6
then you
again.
have to, okay.
Do 6 again. You have balance, you just
I
jack it up. Balance your FEs
Oh.
and your
I was
O's.
trying to do all of that. How is that wrong?
How many N's are right here?
1.
Times what? So how many do you have total? Okay, and what did you put right there?
Word.
So times 2 is how many? No, 4. You got 2.
6 is confusing.
No, it's not.
I just thought that was it.
Six is still just a daggone mess.
Wait, so wait, I got a question. Right here.
She was like.
Because
Wait, was that the right one? Stop. Because 3 times already going 6. No, we got to Mario.
okay, I see you.
How many FEs?
3.
Balance FE. I didn't say put something in front of it, I'm just saying balance FE. You just draw a line?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, should I put that one?
How many FEs are there?
3.
On the other side.
No. So I put a 3, yeah. 3. Over. You don't need them.
Why'd you put a 3 right there, put FE 3?
You said, oh, that would be 9.
That'd be 9, that's right. So if that has 3 and that has 1, you just put a 3 there and put 1 here.
What? 1? I'm confused.
Because 1 times 3 is 1. Okay, 1 times 3 is 3. So this will have 3, and that has 3. So the FE's have 3. Okay, how many O's you got? Okay, and then what on the other side?
I almost had it.
Okay,
So you put
so can you get 4?
Yeah.
Get 4. Okay, so how many H's did you just make?
I made 8.
Can you make 8?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what are you doing?
I'm just walking you in.
Balance the H's, that's the only got it. Yes.
I heard.
Yes.
Oh.
Wait, which one did you
Yes.
Which one?
All right, which one you
Which
doing?
one?
All right, so how many ALs you got?
I got 2.
Put 2 out front, what you gotta do with it? And what's that D word we use in math class? It's that word we've been using all day today, multiply and Nigel. Distribute. Listen to me. You didn't put the 2 back. Okay, so multiply and distribute, so how many you got? In math class, you multiply and distribute, you have how many ALs? 1, What kind of grade you got now?
You don't want to.
Okay, I believe it.
I got a 60. That's fast.
How much you got?
That's fast.
2 times 2
Hey,
is 4.
yeah.
4. So get 4 a.m. Push it, put that 2 there, you gotta
We
use
use
one
it,
out
bro,
of
sorry.
okay, and distribute it to both elements. So that's why I said you got 4. So that means that 2
You love
plus
hard.
goes to.
I like it. I like it. I don't know what I made, but I passed it.
Cut it off.
Yes, yes. Does that make more sense?
No.
Shut up over there, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
Run your life phone.
So,
Okay, so you put that 2 there, that's fine, there's 2 there.
Back up.
Alright, so that makes how many? It's not time to pack up, hush. 2 times, make 2, and 6, okay. So you already have 2 here. We need 6 of those. Hold on, we don't need to write a 2 there, because this one already had how many on it? Already got 2 on it. This one we don't write 6, we need 6, okay? So, how do we get 6 of those? Yes! Shut up! Exactly. Yes. I can't wait to go over there and see what he's got done. Okay, so how many FEs? 3. I'll write it as a subscript. Okay. How many O's? 4 O's.
what did he do?
Yes.
Bothering me.
Now, how many H's did you just make?
You been on that.
Oh,
How
8. So make 8 on the other side. Don't write 8. Make 8.
Oh, yeah, this is.
You have.
Busy. Boy.
You have.
In the Sharpie?
Yes, exactly. Wrong.
Kitchen lights.
No, don't listen. Perfect.
Really?
Yes. Let me see what you have, Mr. I'm laughing.
She said mom was
You ain't got nothing.
What was that one saying? How many times have you done?
He's got the 2 we did on the board.
Oh. That's nice.
Yes, you're doing very well.
I can see that.
You know, see.
First of all, I'm smart.
First of all, I'm smart.
First of all, I remember my dad said,
Do not attack me, y'all.
You know that's not just saying, like,
Y'all.
boy.
Do not attack
I didn't touch
me.
him.
You're not chasing around the room.
He's like, hey,
Y'all.
I
You know how guys are.
didn't do anything.
They're the inferior.
She's harassing me.
Who's the inferior species?
Alright, anybody else need you to see something on your paper?
No, back up, Todd. Everyone back up.
No, we're not gonna answer. We don't back it up. We have 7 minutes. Those of you who keep telling me the time all the time.
Well, it is 1:13.
Yes, that means I have 7 minutes.
Come on. All right, let's hurry.
You know that bitch you when you really
Alright,
falling
the only thing we have 6 is
Really? When she's falling in the
Just like
Like,
Marlo,
really?
what's your
When she sees her falling up.
Marlo.
was pretty
And she, look, not that short. Let's go like,
Whose cat is that? Yours?
you really gonna fall, you
Really?
really,
Yeah,
really
it's
more.
gothic.
Isn't it?
You said, come on.
Oh, wait. Is it 1?
I'd have to see it. Bring it back. I don't remember what it said.
Then we're going over now?
Give my neck back. Really?
Is that 1, 2, and 1?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, let's run through some answers real quick, just to make sure. Really, people?
That's Jackie right there. I didn't say it. Really?
Well, call it.
We got 5 minutes.
Turn that off.
He's calling himself calling.
That's not what I want.
What?
Don't open the light.
Really? What?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not.
That's not it. All right. Where is the one that has the answers?
That makes sense.
There it is. All right. So for those of you who did this and want the answers, all right. So that you can check your paper, you should have a 2 and a 4. You should have a 2 and a 2. For anybody who got this far and tried number 3, we'll talk about number 3 tomorrow. You should have a 2 there, and that's it for that particular equation. All right, you should have a 3 there, and a 2 and a 4. Okay? But number 3, I will come back to tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, number 5, for those of you who did this one, you would have a 2 and a 3, a 3, a 4, and a 4, a 5. Anybody get to number 8?
Yes.
Okay, if you did it, you would have a 3, a 4, and a 5. I will show you how to do number 8 tomorrow. And the last ones, you would have a 2 here, and you would have a 2 there. Okay?
Can I get a picture of that?
What?
The thing I drew. Why?
Because I've already deleted it.
Oh.
As small as 117.
I'm glad that you guys could tell time.
I just do it to Amelia at this point. 3 more minutes.
2 more weeks.
You heard it.
That's my dog too.
Now, tomorrow we're going to do solubility graphs.
You say ability graphs?
Solubility graphs.
Solubility graphs.
And we'll do a little more balancing.
And a little more balance.
Look at right there. Yeah.